NFTs in the metaverse must be regarded as securities, although this is something that developers have been hesitant to acknowledge. Bored Apes, Axie Infinity, and other enterprises that have ignored safety precautions should prepare for a fast regulatory consequence. Welcome to CryptoLink channel. If you love getting news and updates about cryptocurrency, join our community by subscribing to our channel. You can tap the bell icon to never miss our new videos. If you enjoy our channel, kindly like and share it with your friends. October 1, 2022. A tweet from Cointelegraph indicated, "You know what they say, with great valuations comes great scrutiny from tech-savvy financial regulators.
With great power comes great responsibility."
The metaverse is a future version of the internet that includes interactive elements such as a digital economy and a virtual world that is truly present. According to conservative estimates, this relatively new industry has grown so rapidly in recent years that by 2024, its entire worth may exceed $800 billion. The parent company of Facebook and Instagram, Meta, has created Fortune 100-sized metaverse splashes with brands like Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, Nike, and others. Enormous valuations, however, also bring significant scrutiny from financial authorities who are becoming more tech-savvy. Some metaverse ventures force doubtful monetization strategies on its consumers before releasing a live experience, in contrast to standard technological products that frequently spend years prioritizing growth over income. This approach is best shown by the sale of metaverse real estate by companies like Big Time Games prior to the game's public release. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission often stays out of it until ordinary investors are being victimized by predatory solicitation of their money without receiving full information of the investments they are making. The definition of a security is sometimes ambiguous, however, in the situation of the metaverse, the process of selling land should typically be regarded as a security under U.S. law. Axie Infinity and other GameFi platforms show how quickly multi-billion-dollar economies may emerge from metaverse ventures. They require internal control systems and monetary regulations similar to those of large banks or even small nations due to their sheer size. They must be forced to employ compliance officers who engage with law enforcement officials and even carry out know-your-customer procedures for significant transactions. Financialization and the metaverse are inextricably connected. Although physical injury cannot yet be done in the metaverse, there has already been a great deal of financial harm. This year, the non-fungible tokens issued by the Bored Apes Yacht Club became the target of a hack when a community manager's Discord account was compromised. NFTs valued at 200 Ether were taken by hackers.
Yeah, boy!
Recently, Wall Street institutions that used outlawed texting applications were penalized $1.8 billion. Similar aggressive penalties for failing to provide safe financial and technological controls should be applied to metaverse projects like Yuga Labs. Classifying the kind of assets that are being released is a crucial initial step for every metaverse effort. Is it, for instance, a security? A token of utility? Or another thing? Although this may seem like a difficult endeavor, the initial coin offering timeframe in 2017 established the basis, and more efforts should be made by regulators and standards to give clarity and safeguard users. The creation of a regulatory framework which can be utilized in the metaverse will come when the categorization process is finished. This will probably contain laws and ordinances pertaining to consumer protection, anti-money laundering, and securities offerings. Finding the ideal balance is key.
Perfectly balanced, this whole thing should be.
Too little regulation might result in widespread misuse, while too much control could inhibit innovation and acceptance. To discover that sweet spot, governments will need to collaborate with founders. In spite of reservations, the metaverse unites a number of cutting-edge technologies, including augmented reality or AR, virtual reality or VR, and NFTs. In the short to medium term, they all work together to propel the space ahead with growing momentum. Risks of engaging in metaverse activity. Cybercriminals are always coming up with new ways to take advantage of users of the metaverse, such as through identity theft or hacking methods. The vast amounts of personal data generated by AR and VR gadgets linked to these ecosystems, including biometric data from body tracking and eye tracking technologies, make the metaverse a tempting playground for the bad actors. In addition to money fraud, privacy issues exist since three-dimensional sets of data will expose more and more delicate personal data. The California Consumer Protection Act and the General Data Protection Regulation in Europe are extensive privacy laws that have compelled internet firms to employ data security officers and privacy protection compliance officers. Considering the sensitivity of the information they could acquire, metaverse platforms will be required to fulfill comparable duties and may be subject to much more regulatory scrutiny. Stronger internet services will be required as the demand for the metaverse rises, since it calls for a lot more bandwidth, an increase of many orders of magnitude from current internet levels of traffic. Consequently, it's probable that several telecom networks and their current infrastructures for disseminating data may become overwhelmed. The development of a more robust infrastructure and the investment in 5G technology are two ways to address this problem. However, this requires resources, time, and money. The other option is to create data compression methods that are more effective, which can aid in lowering the necessary bandwidth for data transmission inside the metaverse. The possible harm the metaverse may do to one's mental health should also be taken into account, in addition to all the technological risks. There can be no legal redress when users are subjected to online abuse, like racism, because the ecosystem is not governed by criminal law. Regulation-related challenges. Any specific country's regulatory actions will be ineffective since, on paper, any network operator, corporation, or business can operate outside of a planned regulatory framework if they choose to choose. The truth that most of the social media sites we use today, such as Twitter and Facebook, are not located in the US but rather operate from nations including Singapore and Ireland, where data privacy rules are far looser, serves as the ideal illustration of this. The metaverse follows the same reasoning. It is unlikely that all companies would consent to abide by a rule that a nation passed in an effort to govern this industry. Therefore, until every metaverse user identifies with and accepts the idea of establishing a consistent rule of governance, there is no mechanism to prevent a third-party organization, like an offshore investment company, from establishing its own unregulated enclave inside the metaverse, which consumers of other digital ecosystems may then use even without apparent limitations. Considering the future in terms of decentralization. No matter how we feel about it, the metaverse is about to change the way we live. In the end, the philosophy of technological development is to move fast and break things, and history has proven that entrepreneurs move far more quickly than authorities can keep up with. However, in order to foster innovation without seriously harming individual investors' finances, authorities will need to step up and act proactively. Due to this technology, our future will be shaped by the decisions we make now. CardioChain, the very first interoperable blockchain infrastructure in Southeast Asia, was co-founded by Huynh Nguyen. He has been Vietnam Blockchain Association's vice president, the official government group promoting widespread adoption in Vietnam, since May 2022. He has more than 10 years of expertise in developing large-scale distributed infrastructures, such as the Google Fiber Network infrastructure and Google Access Wireless platform, and he formerly held the position of Senior Tech Head Manager at Google. That's it for our today's video. So, what can you say about the news? Let us know about it in the comments section down below. Thanks for tuning in to CryptoLink. We are always excited to provide you with news and updates about cryptocurrency, and if you like this video, please click the like button. See you on the next one.